Aquarius, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It's also going to include astrology predictions for the week. The astrology goes from the 21st to the 28th, but remember this, that's when the energy drops. Whenever this message reaches you is exactly the right time. That's why I don't put any dates specifically, because honestly, it resonates when it resonates, and you attract the message to you when you're ready to hear it. Also, let this message resonate wherever it resonates in your life. If I'm describing something that sounds like I use an example that pertains to career, but it feels like your love story, then that's where it resonates. The examples that I provide are really just to help describe the energy. I always create an extended reading that I do hope you will join me for. The link is below in the description box. I will also attach it to the end of this video so you can click right on it and go right there. My name is Michelle. For those of you who are just finding my channel, thank you so much for giving my channel a chance. I do hope that you enjoy the videos. This is the first of 2 YouTube channels that I have. My second YouTube channel is called Astrology Motivation, where I do weekly astrology forecasts as well as daily tarot card readings and daily astrology check-ins with a live chat, which I hope that you will join me for. All right, let's get into the astrology. And yeah, I wrote it down. I got my little paper right here. Basically, the 2 biggest things, well, there's a new moon that's happening, and that's actually really powerful and potent energy. And Uranus, which is your ruling dignitary, is in the hot spot of it. So I think that a lot of rules and a lot of structure is changing based on the changes that you have had something to do with, especially the structure of your life. It's almost like it's starting to make more sense to more people. Now, how does that impact you? You're going to have high confidence because most of this week, Uranus is trine to Venus. As well, later on in the week, Uranus is trine to the Sun. So you will be very, very attractive and highlighted, and you'll have a lot of esteem when it comes to what you value. Really valuing yourself, really valuing the changes that are happening, and maybe even how they are happening. And then really having a lot of confidence in who you are and what your purpose is. There is a semi-square between Saturn, which is also a ruling dignitary, it's your traditional ruling dignitary, but it's between Saturn and the Sun, I believe. So there could be some conflicts with basically the old you versus the new you, how people see you, how they've gotten used to you versus what you're like now and what you're doing now. That might be the conflict that you come into, surprising people with what you're doing now, with how you look now, what your purpose is now, what your interest is now, when, oh, but you were this way. Oh, but you were this way. There could be even some gripe with regards to what people are ready for. And remember, you can only meet somebody where they are. You absolutely cannot convince them or do anything to help them catch up, except be where you are and be the light. And then when they're ready to see it or when they're ready to join you, then that's what will happen. But ultimately, the major rub will probably be about people saying, oh, but this is what you are. No, this is what I was. This is what I was 5 years ago. This is what I was 20 years ago. You know, it's not necessarily who or what I am or I am into now. So that could be challenging, but I don't see anything really stopping you this week in terms of the astrology. Let's get into the cards. We have be fearless and bold, and this and that are true. So essentially, you are arguing arguments or proving statements. You're making a point to help people see 2 different sides, and you're not necessarily, you're taking the side of both sides. You're taking the side of, let's see what the other thinks, or let's listen to what somebody else is saying, as opposed to just decide it's one or the other. You don't honestly believe it's one or the other, or you are taking strides toward bridging a gap and helping, or even if it's personal, you will start to see the different perspective or a different side of things. As soon as this Aries energy comes online, I believe that's Tuesday of next week, so that's like the 20th or the 21st is when Jupiter drops back into Aries, which is, I feel we're all going to feel it. you know, and that's when things will start moving again, and movement toward whatever you were working on. You could feel it. You could feel like that little burst of energy, even though it's not a ruling dignitary or a primary energy. You're on this planet, you'll start to see that there is momentum growing. Be fearless and bold. This and that are true. In other words, don't be afraid to not decide, or don't be afraid to not choose a side, because you don't have to, especially if you see a middle ground and you see things differently. There's no reason why you have to conform to anything specific when you have the choice and you have the energy to define something brand new. Okay? So definitely, it's almost like it's like be daring. Dare to see the opposite side of things. Dare to see the opposite side of things. In the past, which only comes out if it has something to do with now, are these cards. So Vulture Spirit, nothing is wasted, in reverse, and Wombat Spirit, be at home. Those two are in reverse. So let's discuss what that means. Be at home in reverse means that you did not feel comfortable, maybe not in your own skin or where you were born, or there was a sense of feeling stuck, not feeling comfortable, or it could literally mean that you were away from home. While this was happening, nothing is wasted, in reverse. Not at home, doing something frivolous, doing something shallow, doing something that was very kind of materialistic and superficial. The sense of you didn't really feel comfortable with it. And maybe you were way into it, and you were way into it for one reason, because you were trying to fit in. Or you're dealing with somebody like this, trying to fit in. But ultimately, there was a lack of understanding or lack of acceptance, a lack of comfort. And I feel like that was internal. This was in the past, and I don't think it was the recent past, but it was definitely in the past. So here you are, and now it's impacted the future. And how has it impacted the future? With the way that you live your life now, or seeing things from a different perspective, or finally like being reborn and feeling new and feeling like, hey, I can be a different way. I don't have to be the way that I was sort of devalued. So it's a sense of something in your past that really made you feel unvaluable or not comfortable, especially if you were trying too hard and never really felt like you fit in. Now there's a sense of, oh wait, I don't have to. So here we are, and this is really where we begin. Let's get into the moon energy, since this new moon in Capricorn is going to be huge. Let's briefly discuss why. The new moon in Capricorn is going to be huge because it is absolutely a full house. Like, I haven't seen this full of a house. I'm not sure I've seen it all year. I mean, it's crazy. Let's get into it. We have the sun and the moon in Capricorn, obviously, because a new moon is when the moon conjuncts the sun. So we have the sun and the moon in Capricorn. Bam, that's two planets, right? Planet or luminaries. And then we have Mercury and Venus that have been in Capricorn for the past week or so. That's 4. We have Pluto that's been in Capricorn for quite some time. That's 5. And then you also have the ascendant, which is basically the horizontal line, also rising in Capricorn. So say somebody was born right now, the ascendant is in Capricorn. So obviously there is a stocked house in Capricorn. There are like, and I don't even know, because I have some of like the asteroids and stuff. I don't have them all on my phone, so there could be other things in there too. It is a jam-packed full fucking house. And Jupiter has plopped just a couple of days before back into Aries, which is like, think about adding gasoline to a fire. That's pretty much what it is, or turning the gas on near an open flame. That is Jupiter in Aries. So bam, explosion, and boom, where is the focus of the energy? It's in Capricorn, which is what we've built or what we're building or what we're building into society and how much energy we put into it, and maybe now how it breaks through. A tremendous breakthrough, because that could be in some ways ground zero. I know that Jupiter is square to a few of those planets. That could be very interesting, which just gives them a superpower, supercharge. Shit's going down, and that's why the new moon is so special. Now, not everything is conjunct the new moon. The sun certainly is, but Venus and Mars are a little too far away to be conjunct. Pluto is way on the other side. It's just the concentration of energy around that new moon is it's going to happen. It's like dynamite going off. So thank you for letting me take your time a little bit with that. I just wanted to explain why this new moon is special, and we've had quite a few powerful moons over the past 3 months. I think this new moon is 100% the explosion that makes way for something brand new. This is the one that gets through the gates and blows up whatever it was that was standing in its way. Let's go. A new romantic cycle begins. Damn! So you can take this literally, absolutely, which means there could be new love on the horizon for you. This is a new moon, so it could be that this new moon is going to bring you new love or equalizing the playing field, which could be more important. Now, romance doesn't always have to do with love and kissy-kissy. Romance means idealism. So it's almost like the beginning of a new ideal version, a new idyllic cycle in your life is starting during this week, during these transitions this week. And that just could mean good times coming here with feeling good about yourself, feeling like you've actually broken through and leveled out the playing field. Let's go with that. We also have the end of a tough cycle approaches, Capricorn energy. Think of what was happening on the full moon in Capricorn in July. Because that's the last full moon. Of course, we will eventually have a full moon in Capricorn again in July. But no. I want you to think of the full moon that passed. Like, what was happening at that time? Because it's saying an end of a tough cycle is here. And this is clearing out the room for a brand new cycle in your life. So definitely think back. Check your calendar. I'm curious. That would be really interesting to know. I don't have many, like, if I was Aquarius, if I had major placements in Aquarius, I would definitely just go back, guys, and look what was going on at that time. Because this is the end of a tough cycle. Or maybe not even tough, as in heartbreaking or something like that. But hard work. Like the end of hard work in a good way. It's like it's all culminated into the approach of just things being easier, things being simpler, or the path being clear for a while. Dude, enjoy it while it lasts. Hold your vision, fixed moon. So don't give up, keep going, especially this rocky period right before the new moon. Keep pushing through. It's also a reminder that when things get good, sometimes that's the trickiest part of our lives. It's like, you ever hear that expression, Aquarius, that said, like something like God curses you with everything you've ever wished for? Which doesn't mean you don't deserve it. It just means that that's really the test of your character. When the sun is shining and everything's bright, who are you? Who are you really? Because that's when the truth comes out. And it may not be just about you. It may absolutely be about the world at large. But hold your vision. And I think basically what this is saying is it's almost like everything that's happened is going to reaffirm your strength and your confidence in how you have, in the path that you have been on. So it's going to give you a nice push and reaffirm. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't finish my sentence. It's going to reaffirm your convictions. Let's let's get more detailed. So there's definitely something that you have been fighting for, sticking up for, or wrestling against. The Seven of Swords is here to say, yes, keep doing that. Hold firm to your morality and your beliefs. Like hold firm, stick tight to your beliefs, because when things get easier, and that's kind of what it almost like the sea is parting. When things get easier, there is a temptation to slow down or to, but this is like, it's almost like intensifying things for you. It's almost like, look, I was right, and I want to go extra hard on this. Not in a mean way. It's almost like an affirmation, like it's affirmed what you've believed. And then we have Nine of Cups. So this is happiness and bliss and satisfaction. It is what you've wished for has come true. You know, what you have fought hard for, what you've worked hard for has absolutely come true. In the past, King of Wands, there's something here, somebody with kind of a shaky ego. It could be you. It could represent you kind of had a shaky, shallow ego in the past, or that you're dealing with somebody who does, Aquarius. Somebody who needs constant validation, doesn't really have confidence in themselves, maybe has a lot of cockiness, right? This could also speak to, metaphorically, what you have been creating or the project that you have worked on. So once again, this is affirming that it's directly related to that. What were you working on? Dude, feel free to leave the comments below, because I would love to know, Aquarius. We have the Knight of Pentacles. This is hard work. This is knowing how precious it was. This is going slow. We also have the Knight of Swords. So this could be about something you were speaking about or thinking about, moving forward on your actions, but also stressed out about how to make money from something you have conviction in. Nine of Swords is here. It's almost like for some reason you've been feeling bad about it. Now there could also be sickness or news coming in. I don't think so though. I think this is more to do with your mindset and worrying. How do I hold to my guns and stay true to myself while all this abundance rolls in, or while allowing myself to move forward? This is about handling things with care, handling what you say with care, worried about maybe business transactions that are going to be going on. For those of you who are worried about a job interview that you're taking, you're going to go for it. But in some ways, let me say this to you. In some ways, Aquarius, this is almost like your own humility. It's like your awareness is keeping you humble. And I think that that's learned from a lot of experience, isn't it? You are definitely ready to move forward, because I think you understand the full gravity, the full value of what you're moving forward toward. You are absolutely ready. What's ready? I mean, Aquarius is ready. Five of Wands is here. There's competition. There's definitely people who are preparing to come back at you or challenge you. There's definitely a lot of red tape that you're going to have to go through. You are ready for that. You're ready to handle that. You're also seeing that maybe, just maybe, the expectation of finances isn't as big as you wanted it to be. We have Three of Wands and Five of Pentacles. You're or you could be worried, will this come in on time? Will I get my check on time? Will I get paid on time? Will the payout be as big as I hoped it would be? There seems to be a worry that when your ships come in, they're going to come in empty. So let's see if that is true. Let's get some answers to that. Is that true? What's coming for Aquarius? What's coming for Aquarius? Oh, I love this. Maybe you're waiting for somebody, or somebody's coming in, especially if they're broke. The call could have come in recently that somebody's coming back home, or that somebody's coming close to you again. Why do I say that? Why? Because we have the Judgment card here, number 1, which means a call or a notification that signifies something that you wanted to hear. And Ace of Cups is here. That's what I asked. Where is Aquarius headed? This has got something to do with marriage or love or connection to other people. Your cup filling up, happiness. In other words, what the future definitely holds for you is happiness. You will be happy. But in terms of how much finance comes in, will you be alone? It's almost like in some ways you're worried. Will they come in? Will they come in? Will they do what they say they're going to do? I'm wondering and I'm worried about it. Let's go to the extended. We'll get more information. The links are below. I'll see you guys there.